Sports betting podcast, and please make sure you do follow us at Offshore Insider. Again, we can't put an S at the end of it because of the character limitations, but follow us at Offshore Insider for the latest breaking news, including injury statuses before game time, and if there's any important weather, in baseball, all kinds of great information updated throughout the day at Offshore Insider. And why don't we get to a free pick, and then I guess when I get back, I'm going to tell you about one of the greatest runs in the history of sports betting, specifically on the Master Luck Line. But we got Joe Duffy's picks for today. I'll get to that free pick right now. Why don't I? We got Denver, -4 against the LA Lakers in the NBA. We have a system that essentially isolates undervalued and overvalued teams. We use advanced analytics, such as points per game margin, compares it to the straight-up records and the spread that come up with isolating cases where teams are overvalued. 441, 226, and 13. Now, one of the reasons is, of course, the Lakers' injury status. Dennis Schrader definitely out for the Lakers, and LeBron James highly questionable. You got to think because of precautionary, they're going to not play him tonight. He left the game early yesterday. Well, admittedly, if he does play, we'll be able to get this at a better price, but I don't think he's going to play. So I think, if you can get Denver -4 right now, and check all the vetted sportsbooks at offshoreinsiders.com. We also, rest dynamics generally benefit the home team. That is, when one team is more rested than the other, usually it's the home team that's the more rested. But when a road team has more rest, which is only about 33% of the time, that really means that the home court advantage is slightly overvalued, and that's what successful gambling is, about finding a bunch of small edges that add up. When the road team is more rested than the home team, it nullifies the home court advantage to the tune of 416, 319, and 10. Now, while admittedly such obvious edge was starting to level off over the past couple years, all of a sudden it's climbed back to 31-17 this year, 31-17-1. So that great system is back, and our free pick is to go with the Denver Nuggets. And yes, systems like that really stand to reason always bounce back, even if they have a down year or so. All right, biggest line moves, well, for reasons we just told you. The Lakers opened up a world opener 1.5-point favorites. They're now 4-point underdogs. And that's really it as far as significant line moves in the NBA. Now, why don't we go to some trends for you in Major League Baseball. Seattle, going back to last year on a nice run, 36-28. A lot of those is underdogs plus 18.39 units. Tampa Bay, meanwhile, on a 59-36 run, plus 16.54 units. Kansas City has gone under 31-12 to the AL Central, when the total is anywhere between 7.5 and 9.5. Seattle, 27-17 run in the American League. That's plus 15.9 units. I want to go to some NBA trends for you. New York Knicks, 57-30 with a push over the last 88 games. New Orleans, over 62-40 and 1 over the last 103. Pacers have gone over 65-43 and 2 over their last 110. Memphis has gone under 30-12 and 1 over their last 43 games. At home, that is. And that's about it for the best trends for today. Now, we got to tell you, folks, look, I know the Master Lock Line is the envy of the industry and shadowing everyone. But me, Joe Duffy's picks, on 5-2 on Sunday, including dog winners on 125 and 150. 5-1 NBA run. 3 winners for tonight, led by Wise Guy plays in both the NBA and in Major League Baseball. All right, why don't we take a look at some of the public betting information? Who is the public betting on? First, we will go with, and these are in the NBA, this is going to be on the percentage of tickets, where most people who like contrarian betting, and I do, weight it. We like to go against the percentage of tickets. Therefore, John, the small bettor who's betting a lot, maybe $10 on a 3-2-3-14 parlay or per game or whatever, they're the guys we most like to fade. Washington is 72% of the bets. Washington Wizards that is. Sixers 68%, the normal road favorites. And although Denver's got 64, more significant is the fact the New York Knicks have 61. The public tends to bet favorites, so the Knicks are the biggest underdog consensus play, but then they're followed closely by Portland at 2.5, although the Knicks are slightly bigger underdogs, so a slightly stronger play. A lot of sharps will tell you public underdogs go to die, usually fading underdogs that the public likes, especially if they're underdogs of, more than 2, 3, 4 points. The bigger the dogs they are, the better. So, again, it's on a sliding scale how we do weigh contrarian plays. Now, when it comes to percentage of money, again, a lot of other people say, no, I want to root for whoever the sportsbooks are rooting for. Sportsbooks always win in the long term. So if you're on the same side that the sportsbooks are, you're rooting for the same side the sportsbooks are, you're in good shape. Well, the sportsbooks are rooting against the Philadelphia 76ers, who have 91% of the money, and the Utah Jazz, 82% of the money. Again, visit offshoreinsiders.com for vetted sportsbooks and the best picks in the history of the gambling industry.